Welcome to Get to the Point. I'm your host, Jessica Spahn, and I'm excited today to bring you a show highlighting the importance of recreation and community, brought to you by the Keller Pointe. Join us each episode and be inspired as we bring you conversations with community leaders who share their experiences, expertise, and explore the role that recreation plays in sustaining well-being and success. What are we waiting for? Let's get to the point. Welcome to Get to the Point. I'm your host, Jessica Spahn. Today's a very special day because my guest actually canceled last minute. So I reached out to a few awesome local mothers and entrepreneurs and have special experts on the show today. We have Elisa from the Grapevine, Colleyville, Southlake Moms League.
Correct.
They couldn't add Keller, Northwood. It's too many things.
Too many letters.
But they do a lot in Keller as well.
We do.
And then we have Sarah Crilley, who is, how do we put it? She's behind the scenes a lot of times, making the magic happen here.
Yes, here at the podcast.
Yeah, she's the podcast person in Keller, but she moved to Keller. When that
Kaylee
little
Jane
girl
wants to let you know, it wasn't me moving to Keller. It was Kaylee Jane in the belly, and
Yes.
we were all moving to Keller,
That's
right,
true.
Kaylee Jane?
So Kaylee Jane has been at the Keller Point the longest, I guess, right?
She has.
Since before she was born.
Well, yeah, in the belly, and we were moving from Plano, and I was like, oh my gosh, how do I make friends? What do I do? And we were driving down, what is that, Keller? Smithfield,
yeah.
And I live over Keller Smithfield at Keller Parkway. I was like, what is this? And
see
it
the
says
water
the Keller.
park?
Yeah, what is this? Like, this looks like so much fun, and we want to make friends. And so here I am, like, super self-conscious, super pregnant, and like, okay, I'm going to squeeze into a swimsuit and get my 13-year-old son out there, and we're going to go make friends. Well, at the time he was,
12,
12, yeah.
Something like that.
It all blurs together when you're a mom.
I could literally hear Caleb screaming the whole way down the slide. It is a long, long, long slide.
So I have a 13-year-old and a toddler, but at the time of moving to Keller, I was trying to make friends and get active and get out in the community. And the Keller Point is a warm hug. The city of Keller is a warm hug, and I love this community and absolutely love the Keller Point for my kids.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And Kaylee says, what are we waiting
for? And
for?
Kaylee's practically a star. If you guys see our social media, in the summertime, she loves to be at the toddler times and loves the attention. So you'll see her face quite a bit as when the pool opens. Yeah, she is.
She's like, I see camera. Well, we could have a meltdown in the middle of this.
You
just
never
so we're
know.
thinking.
That's
It is nap time.
I love it. I love just making it happen. I love
Yes,
it.
and I love that you have our guest here because I want to learn more about
Because she
how
so
to
graciously last minute decided to come.
Totally
I was
did.
like,
It was like, I'm done with the bow. But getting involved as a mom and getting active beyond Keller and getting active in the community. And so I'm so excited to meet you.
Yes, nice to meet you too.
And Kaylee is too.
We're actually in 2024 will be the 30th anniversary. So we have quite a few moms who are second generation. So their moms were
that's
members
awesome.
and they were in the play groups in the 90s and now they're in our leadership
Wait, what
team.
month? Do you have a month that you started?
Well, we're all just deciding January, like New Year, 30th anniversary.
Because I was going to say Keller Point's 20th anniversary in June.
Oh.
So we're 10 years behind you guys, but we're hitting that
I
second
should
generation.
know that. I know
too.
there's an actual physical binder with
Yeah.
like the history.
That'd be
and
cool
the
if you guys were the
bylaws.
same time we opened.
Most people call it GCS, and you can spell out all the cities if you like.
GCS, KNRH.
Yeah, GCS, KNRH, Watauga,
DFW.
Coppell,
Yeah, all the places.
all the letters. It's going to be the 30th anniversary, and it is all volunteer run. It is interesting. It's a nonprofit, but every year the organization votes on a second nonprofit to fundraise for.
okay.
So all of our functions for the year are benefiting a charity.
Okay.
So the first year that I joined, the charity that was voted on was Kids Matter International. We had a big gala, and we did, some fundraisers for them, a bingo night, a hop and sting. And then this year, the one that we're about to wrap up because we run on school years, we have been partnering with Stepping Stones out of Keller.
Okay.
Amazing organization. They are highly involved in Keller ISD.
Yeah.
And they are supported by a lot of Keller businesses. So we just had a huge event for them in April.
And you guys, it was the annual gala, right?
The annual gala.
Okay.
We had over 300 people.
And you guys, was it where was it, Bowden?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
at that Bowden. A beautiful space. That was
I
actually my
had
first
FOMO,
event there.
Man. What did you think?
Oh,
I looked at
my
all the pictures
word.
and was sad.
So
didn't know.
hilarious mom story. So my mom goes by Yaya, and she had told my 4-year-old little tiny fashionista that I was going to a fancy event. Mm-hmm. Well, I went at 1 p.m. to go help set up, and like we were doing boxes, and I came back in my yoga pants, and my 4-year-old gave me the side eye. She literally said, I thought you were going to something fancy. And she looked at me like, why are you wearing those yoga pants? And I was like, I am. I was helping, and I'm going to change. Yeah. So then once I put the sparkly dress on, then she was like, okay, I approve of this outfit. We have 17 volunteer board members right now, everything ranging from social media and marketing and a treasurer. We have a lot of small groups. So like last night we had a game night. We have a book club. We do Ladies Who Lunch. We've had a fit club. Some of the fit club activities range from wanting to go and take a physical class together. Like, we're all going to do yoga at 10 a.m. We want to bring the babies or not. And then we've had some of the fit club is, let's go walk around a park or a stroller and be outside.
I totally need fit club in my life. I have no motivation to get out and about. My kids keep me active, but I'm not doing enough for myself. So I love that.
I know, it's really fun. I think that there's something really for everyone. If you work full time and you just want to go to the happy hours game night, cool. If you're a stay-at-home mom and you have 3 children under 5 and you want to go hang out in someone's living room with the kids roll around, there's also a group for that. I work for myself, so my schedule's pretty flexible, but I do, for the most part, work when my kids are at school. So I don't go to the sit on the floor with the baby groups, but I go to the evening events, the weekend events. We're actually having a really fun pool party, end of year party
at the Keller Pointe.
Because we have over 300 members, I bet we have 1,000 children. That's probably a little bit of an exaggeration, but we can't have like big league-wide parties without having a great facility where we can say, we might have 120 children. Are you good with that?
Right.
We promise we'll bring snacks, but what can we do? And we loved the idea of a pool party, and I think it's going to be so fun. This is our first event with Keller Pointe. Yeah. It's going to be great.
I'm excited because I'm going to be on site.
Yeah.
Having all the fun, and Sarah's going to join, and I'm excited. Like, I'm ready for the summer season to kick off. The pool officially opens Memorial Weekend, so that Saturday at noon is the official opening for everybody.
Nice.
And then it goes through Labor Day. But yeah, you'll be June 3rd.
We are.
So we do rentals, by the way. So prior to the pool opening and then after it closes, you guys can always rent it out for private events.
Yeah, and I think that's a great way to do it. Because of our organization, most people don't know each other. So if we can rent out a whole facility, then we know that everyone there is in the group. So small talk is a little less awkward to be like, hi, how long have you been in the league? How did you find us?
I want to thank you both for what you're doing, because it's lonely. It's lonely being a mom and navigating through all the ages and stages. To have a toddler and a teenager, they both get fussy. They both have their tantrums in their different stages, and it can be so lonely, and just that feeling of just like, am I doing this right? And mommy just needs a break. And so thank you so much for what you're both doing, because you're getting moms together, active community, and I'm just so thankful. I'm thankful that I found both of you.
Yeah, and so just so you guys know, like, her background is social media. And marketing, right?
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah.
So she's like an expert and allowed to speak on the amount of work that goes into things.
Well, I joke that I work on the internet. Like, I used to be a graphic designer. I was a web designer. I'm a copywriter, social media content writer, digital strategy. So if it's online, I'm paying attention to all of it. I also do contract work with a few cities. And so I'm helping. I know about things before they happen.
Ooh,
like mother-daughter.
Is that tough? Do you have to, like, are you not allowed to share things?
No, it's actually really fun because I'm extremely visual. So having gone to the events that I'm now working on promoting is really helpful for me. So one of my favorite stories, hilarious, but they're putting on a father-son field day. So it's an outside fun event. My husband went when my son was 4, and he came back, and I was like, I want to see pictures. And he was like, I was doing tug-of-war. Why would I take a photo? And I was like, you didn't take one? You took no photos. Like, your first father-son field day, no photos? And he was like, I don't know. So now, especially with Moms League events, especially if there's a men event, like, we're assigning a photographer.
We're
going to hire a photographer because the dudes won't do it. The husbands are like, oh yeah, no, they had a great time. You don't have one photo, one video, nothing. I had a couple people text me and say, I saw so-and-so posted a really great video. Where are those? Like, were those taken by someone? I'm like, yeah, those were a vendor. They came and took the 360 videos. Oh, great. Oh, good. I'm so glad to know that, because my husband's terrible at taking photos.
No one gets a picture. That is hilarious.
It is. It's so funny. But yeah, our groups are fun. I love, the other thing that's really great is when someone comes in and they says, hey, have you guys ever considered doing XYZ? The answer almost always is, great idea. We would love to have you volunteer to do that. So if there's something that someone's not doing yet, if you want to say,
they're welcome to volunteer
themselves. I want to volunteer to, like, make sure I meet some new moms at the Toddler Splash. I will be there at this date and this time. It's a pretty easy, like, throw it on we have a closed Facebook group, so it's not open to the public.
Okay.
And say, this is where I'm going. This is the time I'm going. This is what I'll be wearing. Meet me here. We've done that many times too.
Oh, interesting.
So I would say 30% of our members are brand new to Texas. So they show up and they're like, I don't have a dentist. I don't know where to work out. I don't know who should do my lawn. And so they're asking for every recommendation. And then it's always nice to have someone actually meet you there.
Yeah.
Because, like children in a pool, it's nice to be able to talk to a mom while you let them splash around in a little area.
Yeah. What do you think, Sarah?
I love that. Mom's mom is so important. And to be able to get that mom sign of approval of, okay, here's what I've tested and tried. Here's the places to go. Here's what to do. Here's where to go. Here's, keep the kids busy. Here's some things for mom to do, dad to do, date night, all the things in the community. And I moved here from out of state. And not only is it just like the sea of everything happening in the DFW, it's like, okay, how do I find friends? I know that there's no shortage of things to go to, but I don't want to go alone.
Yeah.
And chase around my kids alone.
And the small talk, because the overlapping mom life, you're going to see even something as small as like, oh, I love your pool bag. Where did you get that?
Yeah.
I need a pool bag like that. It's holding all of the things and not getting wet.
That's exactly what I experienced at the Keller Pointe. I walked in and I just felt like so self-conscious of like what I was wearing, I don't know, you feel like just completely out of it when you're this delirious pregnant mom. But I made instant friends at the Keller Pointe and I was like, okay. I got my tribe,
Yes.
And so I'm excited to expand my tribe and check out your group. I'm so excited. Yay.
Well, we have a splash pad, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Double checking. Sarah likes to hang out there.
Oh my gosh. I'll bring the microphone a little close. We started to have fun with the mic, didn't we? The splash pad is awesome. Toddler time is amazing.
Which is on Fridays, 10 a.m. to noon. And even with the indoor pool, but I know the outdoor pool is going to be even larger. And a lot of moms groups do come to that. So if you're a member, it's free. And if you're not a member, it's only $5 for your family. But we prefer 5 and under for kids.
Yes, and there's covered areas too. You know, this Texas sun is crazy, and so you have the sunscreen and all the things we can do protection wise. But you want to be able to go in those covered areas that are so comfortable to be able to stay out of the sun too.
And I like the under 5 thing. My younger one's 4, but there's a big difference in taking a 4-year-old somewhere and the young babies and having big kids who will kind of trample and run them over.
See, I did not understand that because I have a cat. But when we were talking about this last year, when we brought it back, someone had asked me on social media, can they bring their 7 or whatever age? And I was kind of like thinking like, sure, that was my thoughts. I asked though, thank God, before I replied because they're like, no. And they explained to me that that's an issue. So I had to, kind of explain to them, well, we prefer to keep it this because of that. But I have a cat, so I had no idea.
Right.
So
well,
I do know it matters.
In my case, like my 7-year-old splashing his own sister in the face is one thing, but like a child who's not used to being around rowdy boys,
like a little tiny.
Yes, I have to be like, please, dude.
Yes, it's so helpful to have designated areas, and that way the Keller Pointe appeals to all families, all ages, everybody. You even have
every stage, all ages, all. What did you say?
All ages,
all ages and stages.
Yeah, I love it.
I
love
that.
rhyming.
And even the elderly, you've got grandparents coming, and they have fun. They want to be able to break up the day and be able to get the kids outside.
Yeah.
And water safety is so important. Lifeguards are there. You never know what's other places. What that looks like if you're at the apartment pools or other community pools. You're like, we want to take the kids out, but is everybody going to be able to play safe? And so I love that with the Keller Pointe too.
Agreed. Having a lifeguard is a really added bonus for parents who have any child, but especially if you have more than one. Like you cannot look in 2 directions. Even if you got a really strong swimmer, like I can watch this child or this child full time. And so we try not to go to pools outnumbered. We're kind of always
that's a good
bring
idea.
my husband, and we know there's added someone else's eyes. And my mom comes a lot, so husband, me, and 2 kids.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love to hear that too because we had Lori Cerami on. She has a run that she does every year that helps raise money for her Swim for Elise Foundation, which gives scholarships to I think like high school age kiddos. So they can become certified. But she also promotes heavily having a water watchers at the pool, so people know, that their kids will even instigate, hey, watch me, mom, or to get that kind of relationship and that kind of understanding out there. So when the kids go in, they're safe.
Yeah.
Or I guess safer or safest.
Yeah.
Does anyone choose the safest? Hopefully as safe as they can be. So, what all else do you guys do?
So we run on school year. So it kind of timing is August. We have a big kickoff party where all the members are invited.
Okay.
Our membership closes in April-ish.
Okay.
And then we technically have to take a break for summer.
Okay.
But we do a lot of kind of spontaneous summer. And then throughout the year, we have a book club game night every month. So those happen in the evenings. We have ladies who lunch every month. So we're going to restaurants all around GCSK and RH Coppell. Actually, a lot of it happens right at the edge of like Southlake and Keller.
Right.
That's a really good central spot.
It is.
Where we can say, you know, hey, we're going to be in this. Central Market's is a good shopping center where there's a lot of meetups. In addition to book club, we have a speaker event every other month. We call them breakfast socials.
Okay.
And we have someone come in. There is childcare, which is great. So moms actually get to sit down and drink coffee while it's still warm and focus on listening.
They don't have to do that.
I know. Well, some of them do. Some of them do have to bring in, if they're not used to childcare, or if they're like, oh no, I'm done with this room. We do find a lot, especially around this age, if one child starts getting grumpy in the childcare room, then they're all, and they're like, wait, I don't know why I'm upset, but that one's upset and I must be upset too. So a lot of times we'll bring in the 1-year-olds but our last breakfast social of this season is in middle of May, and then we'll have another one in August or September, November.
Okay. Oh,
so
that's
happen
cool.
every other month.
Quarterly.
And those happen. No, it's every other month.
Every other month.
But we take the summer off.
Okay.
And those are in Colleyville. We have a church that rents us the space that has enough childcare rooms in order for us to have a big space for a speaker. We've done Enneagram. We've had marriage counselors.
Nice.
We've had, therapists come in and talk about, finding yourself
So
after
I love
becoming
that
a mom.
you're talking about all the like wellness aspects
Yes.
of life too, because we're closing out. By the time this airs, Fit City will be over for this year, but it's an annual event, and Colleyville actually just joined this year. So it's Southlake, Keller, and Colleyville. So
Fun.
it's exciting. We got to get, I guess, the Grapevine people involved somehow.
Yeah.
That's
Being around someone who's in the same life stage or who has been through what you've been through, even just standing around talking about, what kind of toys do you take on airplanes to entertain my children?
Oh my goodness.
Here's what I'm trying to do with sleep training. That's a good, terrible word to say because, oh my word, delirious sleep deprived mom. It's really great. So my children are actually adopted. So that's one thing in the sphere when people talk about being pregnant, I joke, I'm like, I'm one of the few Moms League members who doesn't know about pregnancy.
That's amazing. When did you adopt your kids?
Both of my children were born in Texas.
Yes.
We adopted my son as a newborn and my daughter was 2.
That's amazing.
So that's another kind of element that I bring when people are talking about, hey, a friend's adopting, or the other day someone was talking about IVF, and we talk about surrogacy. So we've got a lot of mix of how people become parents, and a combination. We have some people that they were pregnant and maybe they're also a step parent, and so bringing in different walks of life is kind of natural when you have 300 people that come together. But that's pretty cool. That
so you feel like you're not alone.
Yeah.
Because I know, Sarah, you were mentioning, because she was a preemie, right? So you do stuff. So you have a baby boutique, and you do videos, and tell more about that.
Sure. Kaylee Jane was born at 32 weeks. She was 2 pounds. I'll cry. So when I was there, not able to hold my baby, she was so small. She was an evil. I'm gonna cry.
No.
She was so small they couldn't even put clothes on her because her skin wasn't developed. And I'm praying, and I'm just like, making this list of things to look forward to for Kaylee and I to have, as she would grow up, and just to get us through that time of, you want to hold your baby the second she's born, but it was emergency C-section. Anyways, going through, when I get to dress you someday and all the tutus and stuff, and what am I going to name you? We didn't have a name for her yet. And long story short, on the list, I put down baby boutique. We're going to have a baby boutique. We're going to go to New York. We're going to go to Paris. We're going to do all these things. And long story short, on her first birthday, I was going through the list of all the fun things, tea parties and stuff. She was still little. I was like, I'd never started the baby boutique. So I started Kaylee Jane Lane that started out online, and now we're in North Richland Hills at the Go Lightly's antique store. And it's just this little booth, but I wanted to gift my daughter this gift of entrepreneurship, like I've done with my son and like my dad did for me, and just to pass that down. And anyway, so that's just so fun to share that. And just going through the journey of preemiehood was terrifying. And I've met other preemie moms throughout the time of just, thinking about what are those things to look for with your baby? And, no matter what, if you're, adopting your children, they're your children. And the journey of parenthood should never be alone. And to be able to encourage and uplift each other, you never know who's going through what, and who just needs a hug, or here, mama, here's some coffee. We got this. Right? Or dad, you got this. We got this all together. And the journey of parenthood is so beautiful, and it can be so trying at times, and all the blood, sweat, tears, and a lot of tears with these kids are so worth it. And they need us, we're their parents for a reason.
I love that. One of our members, I don't know if it's one or both of her children are preemie, and she owns a bounce house company. So every year she does an event just for the kids who are preemies. She sets up all the bounce houses and does a photo shoot with the moms.
Fun.
And this last one, she did all her bounce houses that were all white, and she had all the kids wear white. So like all the photos of the kids jumping around. So our current president, because we run in school year, so our current president, who will be wrapping up soon, both of her boys are preemies. So she took them to that event, and she was like, I got most amazing photos of them jumping around, playing, having fun in the bounce house together. And that's because that's a cause that's important to the business owner.
Yeah.
And then she joined our league, and she found out that there were other preemie moms. So that's a great example of one like super niche group that found each other
Thank
just
you.
in conversation.
You're gonna have to go do that.
I do. Yeah, the preemiehood journey. It's I didn't realize, as Kaylee was born early, 2 months early, that she has an adjusted age. So until she's 2, we go by her adjusted age. So she's 18 months physically, but 16 months developmentally. And she's pulling out Miss Rachel on the phone here. She's very developed and knows what she wants, don't you, Kaylee Jane?
Not a good episode. She doesn't like that episode. She wants a different topic.
Yeah, she's like, let's go back to the simple songs. But anyways, I appreciate you guys understanding. She needs a nap, so we're gonna head out.
It's almost nap time. Yeah, I was actually gonna say,
she did really good though.
she did
Yes,
great.
she did.
Like, do you want her to close out with a weight, or do you want us to do it?
Let's try the weight.
Let's try. So, there you go. Oh, help us close out, Kaylee. Okay. So let's say. Okay, you ready, Sarah?
Ready?
What are you waiting for? Get to